Hello and welcome to Europhoria, a podcast where we look back on the great, glam and garish of Eurovision past. My name's Isobel Chilman and I'm joined, as ever, by Brooklyn's number one Jon Ola fancier. It's Roland Bodner.
Hello everyone, how's it going? You all doing good? Yay, we're back.
We're back properly, proper time.
We are.
The proper one this time.
It is. We are officially back with an official proper episode. Gosh.
I might even remember to tweet that we've come back now. I'm not promising that though.
Yeah, the last episode was just for the real fans who have been clinging on for the whole time.
It's like, what was it called when you have a secret song on an album?
Oh yeah, where it just plays from the end of the last song and then 3 minutes later there's a song. Yeah, hidden track.
That's us. That's our hidden track, just for the best ones.
Just for you.
Are you all right, Roland?
I am doing okay. It's Monday after work and we're both a little bit pooped, aren't we? Normally we do this on like a Sunday, nice and breezy Sunday, but it's Monday evening. We're doing this now because we couldn't have done it before. I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm in bed. I've got my jammies on. I've got a cup of chamomile tea. I've got my podcast kit set up on my duvet. Patsy's asleep.
Oh, it's too late.
She's waiting for me
already
to go to sleep as well.
Yeah. This is proper.
Which I'll be doing straight after this.
Yeah, that's very fair. But otherwise, I've been good. I went snowboarding at the weekend.
You're fancy.
I know. Well, yeah. I just have this. Life now. I can just go away for the weekend and go snowboarding and then come back and see a concert in Brooklyn and then just go to bed. I'm quite tired now after all that.
Well, I didn't go snowboarding, but I did go and get really hammered with our friend Hannah. So you didn't get to do that.
Yeah, that's pretty top notch as well. Good for you.
But we'll be doing that in a few weeks when you're back. Wait.
Yes, absolutely.
So I've got a little bit of Eurovision news. Well, there's only a little. Well, obviously we're getting closer to Eurovision.
Yeah.
Some more entries have been picked. A couple of the big ones in the last week or so. Moroccan pop singer Mahmoud was the surprise win at this year's Sanremo Music Festival.
Yes.
And will be representing Italy at the contest.
Yes. Interesting.
My Italian boyfriend. Listened to the song the other day. He's not happy about it.
Really?
Because he said that the lyrics are, if you're Italian, are just nonsense.
Oh, well.
Yeah. It sounds great to a non-Italian speaker, but to him he was like, it's just crap, it's just nonsense, it's just nonsense lyrics.
The Italians can't vote on their own song, so you know.
Screw you, Daniele.
Yeah.
Oh. And then the UK's Eurovision You Decide has taken place now.
It
and
did.
Following our last episode, Roland,
Yep.
we were pretty on the money.
We were pretty on the money. What did you think, Isobel? Did you watch it? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it?
Yeah. I love Mel and Mons.
Yeah,
they're
wonderful.
Very
good. Yeah,
it was actually more fun than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
But it looks very low budget. Everything looks low budget on it. All the performances look low budget. Actually, Kerry Ann's version of Sweet Lies wasn't as powerful live as I hoped it'd be.
No.
So I'm not fully going to blame the patriarchy for not getting through. Jordan, who sang Freaks. Did you see who he said he loved from last year's contest?
Yes, Isabel, and I thought exactly of you. And as soon as he said it, I thought, well, that is perfect.
For anyone who didn't see it, so Jordan, who we were, Jordan, we're kind of digging into last episode. His favourite act from last year's contest was Mikolas from the Czech Republic, who, if you are an old school listener, will remember us just, really hating.
Yes.
Me especially, really. He was the Prat in the bow tie. And that says a lot about Jordan, I think. And Jordan's, we were right again with the budget My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
Even the actual, the outfits and the fact that he had a mic stand without a stand, but he still had the stick bit. Oh my God.
But it was pop. It wasn't punk.
Oh, it was just cringy. I
Yeah.
could have put together better outfits than that.
I felt, you know what?
What was the budget per person? They had about 30 quid.
Someone else made the point that his competition, the girl group whose name I've now forgotten, they've fallen into obscurity. Maid, thank you. That was the first time they'd ever performed together live.
That's mad.
Why is the UK panel selecting a girl group who have never performed live before?
It's mad. And I'm not. We got that was the only one we got wrong, was that we said Maid was going to go through instead of Jordan.
They were
but
not
actually,
good.
They looked like a Primark Little Mix.
They weren't good. They didn't sound good.
No.
It was that the whole Freaks song and presentation of the song was a very big low of the night, really.
Really, truly awful. But I agreed with, I'm really a big fan of Rylan.
Me too.
I really like him. I think he's just spot on about a lot of things.
Me
and he was
too.
very spot on about that. It was like the first time I listened to the song, I thought, oh, no.
Yeah.
And then the more you hear it, the more you really like it. But it's got to be really powerful.
Yeah.
And he was right. The more you hear it, actually, you said last episode, it is quite a good song.
Yeah.
But it needs to be sung by the right person.
Right
and
way.
now I've heard it half a dozen times. I actually don't mind the song if it was being blasted out by someone amazing.
Yeah.
But it's just a bit wet.
Yeah, super wet.
And Michael Rice, now I've actually seen him speak, I quite like him. He's a lovable dope, isn't he?
I thought that might be the case. I think he's just a bit of a lovable, big, lovable.
Someone needs to tell him what to do with his arms on stage, though.
Yeah.
There's lots of pointing and quite a bit of crotch grabbing.
It will be interesting to see us putting forward a male good singer, because there's no denying he does have a good voice, and he
belts it out.
He can belt it, and I wonder if you talking about the patriarchy, if actually that's us leaning into it, and it might do us some favours. Not that we're condoning it, but you know what I mean.
Don't pander to the patriarchy, Roland. Don't do it.
Not even.
I like that he owns a waffle shop.
Yeah, he does own a waffle shop.
He has a waffle and ice cream shop he opened up with his money from the contest.
I know, that's really good, isn't it? I want to go visit it.
I quite liked him. Other things, actually, I noted from You Decide too, was I've never heard Molly from the Saturday speak before. She's the poshest human in existence.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. She's
My
very
God,
posh.
she's posher than Darcy Bustle. It's insane. And also, what's happened to Mons's voice?
What do you mean?
At points, he sounded Irish.
Oh.
Then he was very posh British. Then sometimes he was Swedish again.
Mm-hmm.
But for any time he spoke, I thought I was having a stroke at times, because I couldn't understand where his voice was coming from.
Well, he's been living in London for the last 3 years now, so maybe that's just the effect of that. And doing presenting, he must have had voice work done.
I didn't like it.
Oh,
I did like the Mons medley at the end.
Yes, of course, they should do a Mons medley although they could have had a bit more Mel in there, I feel. But
the bit more Mel. I did like when she fell over, and they had Bucks Fizz. I mean the Fizz.
The Fizz. You have to legally call. I lost so
legally
much when he
called
was
the
like,
Fizz.
Thank you, the Fizz. I thought it was a good. There were good elements about the show. There were bad elements about the show. I think about half the people who turned up were turned away because the BBC didn't expect so many people. Always expect more than the amount that you expect for Eurovision crowds.
The crowd.
Yeah.
When Maid started singing Freaks, they looked like they wanted to kill themselves. The shots of the crowd. Watch it again, just for the shots of the crowd when Maid are singing.
Yeah,
they are not happy. Right, moving swiftly on to a bit of any other business. You've got a bit of business, haven't you, Roland?
So those of you who are big Eurovision fans and listen to many Eurovision podcasts may know that over at ESC Insight podcast, the unofficial Eurovision podcast, as their subtitle goes, they are doing a weekly Thought of the Week where they get voices from Eurovision across the world to give their opinion on a topic or a subject or whatever. And very nicely of them, they sent us an email earlier this week inviting us to feature on this week's episode. And so if you tune in to the ESC Insight podcast, you may, towards the end of the episode, hear our two lovely voices, slightly hungover on your part and tired on my part because I did it at 7 a.m. From my girlfriend's mother's basement, which was slightly odd.
Weird.
Voices talking all about how
don't ruin it.
Okay. Wow, that was cut off. Okay. No, you
Leave
have
it
to
to be a surprise.
Yeah, you have
You've
to
got
tune into
listen
that
to it,
podcast. Yeah.
And then you've got to tell us how wonderful we sound, because you know what? We've made it now.
I know.
We've made it. We had Ewan Spence himself email us.
Yes.
We've done a whole 3.5 minute audio piece for someone else's podcast.
Made it.
That means we're basically famous.
We've been
and
accepted.
I should basically be the heir to Mel Giedroyc's
It was their whole thing is that it's voices from Eurovision around the world. So apparently we're a voice from Eurovision around the world. I'm happy with that.
I'm a voice from Eurovision.
Right now we are. I'm in America. You're in England. We are voices from Eurovision around the world.
Lovely. That's impressive, isn't it? I'm very happy with that. Can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, so it should be out by the time you're listening to this. It should be out. So go listen to it after you've listened to this.
I've got some any other business as well. We have an email.
Yeah. Oh God, they're quick on it, aren't they?
As soon
as they hear we've got a podcast, we've started again. They're back on the email.
Love it. Love the fans. We have an email from the US of A.
Wow.
From our lovely old friend Kevin, who has been in touch previously.
Yes.
Hi, Kevin. So Kevin says, I'm sorry about this, Roland. This isn't me. This is Kevin. Dear Kerry-Ann and Jordan.
What? No.
Which, to anyone who didn't listen to the last episode, is a reference to two of the Eurovision You Decide entrants. Kerry-Ann is wonderful and Jordan is a bit of a dud.
There was another guy in the contest. I could have been Michael.
No, you're Jordan now. Dear Kerry-Ann and Jordan, as a Brit living stateside, Eurovision chit-chat is a bit thin on the ground. So when my phone notified me the other day that a new Europhoria podcast was available for download, I got a little bit giddy. Glad to have you back.
Yeah. Well, nice to have you back.
Oh, it's nice to be back, isn't it?
It's very nice to be back.
Kevin says, I've also been meaning to email you for a long time now to thank you for giving a shout out to the kids I was teaching last year.
Oh, yeah.
They were thrilled. Do you remember this, Roland?
I do, yeah. Yes, we gave although we did say they shouldn't be listening because sometimes we swear, but it's fine.
Yeah, they'll learn them at some point, though.
But yeah, they got to learn.
They've got to learn the rude words.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Kevin says, to put it in perspective, I'd also emailed Suri's management on my student's behalf to let her know how inspired they all were by her perseverance in the face of that stage invading knobhead at last year's Eurovision.
Yeah.
I got a reply from her manager, which I read out to my kids. They were mildly excited. But when I played your shout out, they practically wet themselves.
No.
Yes, that's what we're aiming for, Kevin.
Bigger than Suri's management.
Teenagers. I want to make kids piss their pants. That's my aim in life.
I think that's okay to say. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, I've said
it. So we're bigger than Suri's management then.
Yeah, we are.
That's pretty good. I'm
take
okay with that.
I'm happy with that. Sticking that in my LinkedIn profile.
Wow. Yeah, definitely.
Really nice, huh? Kevin also says, Isobel, you mentioned your boyfriend Daniele, and yes, he did spell it correctly.
Wow.
And his miscomprehension of British words made me think of an Italian friend of mine who routinely and unintentionally coins new words. His most recent creation is sinceriously.
Ooh, I love that.
How
I could do
good
a song
is
with
that?
that. That's great, because it's two words that kind of mean the same thing, but
sinceriously. Love it.
Oh, I might have to take that. I might have to borrow it.
Well, Kevin says not sure why it doesn't exist. Well, it does now.
Yeah, it does now.
It's happened. We've made it.
Might do a song with it. Yeah.
Then he puts yours sinceriously, Kevin. Thank you so much, Kevin. And also, in regards to your PS, you're awesome. Screw whoever that wanker was, and I'm very glad we've been of help.
We're always happy to help.
Always happy to help. And if you need me to come over and like rough someone up,
she will.
I will.
I've seen it before.
I will do that. I am territorial.
Yes. Very protective.
Good. Okay. Is that all the business?
I think that is all the business. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, great. So before I start, because it's my week this week.
It is. I'm so excited.
I will say first and foremost, I need to thank my wonderful friend Simon for giving me the idea for this week's episode.
Excellent.
But simultaneously need to say, Simon, screw you. Because this was the hardest thing in the world to research.
No. Oh, God.
And I got so excited about it and I didn't want to give up on it. So I've persevered. But you'll realise quite quickly how little information I have on the topic.
I hate those ones that you're like, yeah, this is going to be brilliant. And then you're like, it's about 3 sentences.
It's driven me mad. It's driven me mad, honestly. It's driven me insane.
Okay, well.
We'll keep going because it's made me laugh a lot.
I think we'll. Well, I don't want to prejudge your story, but I think definitely from the last section of this podcast where we reintroduced the singing, I think it's fair to say, at least on my half, there's a little bit of rust that needs blowing off. You know, there's a little bit of dust that we need to just like brush off here as we get back into the regular flow of producing this podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll see how it goes.
This is just, so today's episode is this is a rough draft of an episode.
Okay, yeah, this is like first run at it. You're all involved, and in the next couple of weeks we'll be back up to full speed. Don't you worry.
Great. Okay, this is just a dress rehearsal. Fine.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So Roland, I want to take you back a couple of years when we went to go see Eurovision You Decide live.
Oh, excellent! Yeah.
How good was that? It was great fun. We had a lovely time. And do you remember who was on the judging panel?
There was the guy from the dance contest, Bruno Toglioni.
Yeah.
And there was a middle woman, and then there was Sophie Alice Bextor.
There was Sophie Alice Bextor. Well, we don't have to remember who else was on there. Wasn't it Alexander Rybak? Is that you're saying is the middle woman?
No, he wasn't on the panel. There was a middle woman on the panel.
Middle woman. Okay. Well, I don't care about the middle woman. All I care about is Sophie Alice Bextor right now.
Okay.
So yes, Sophie Alice Bextor was there. And why did you think that? What did you think the connection was between Sophie Alice Bextor and Eurovision?
Because she was on the You Decide. Or why was she on You Decide, you mean?
Yeah, why was she, what do you think her connection is to
Is it something to do with her mother?
That's fake.
Well, her mother used to be a BBC Blue Peter children's TV presenter.
Yeah. It might be something to do with the good old Janet Ellis. It could be that.
The good old Janet Ellis. Is it something to do with Janet Ellis?
I've got a better link. Well, I say a better link.
Okay.
It's a tenuous link, but
were you genuinely asking me because you don't know? Is this one of the pieces of information that you don't know yet?
Well, maybe.
Okay. So we're just guessing at this point.
Oh, there's a lot of guesswork in this episode.
Okay, cool,
yeah.
Perfect,
right.
Easy. I love it.
So Sophie Alice Bextor may be best known nowadays for committing murder on the dance floor.
Oh, yes.
But Sophie wasn't originally a dance pop diva. She started her musical career as an indie chick, as frontwoman of Camden guitar band Theaudience.
Wow, it's Sophie.
However, I will just say at the start of this, the way that they spell their name is there's no gaps between the words. So from here on out, I'm just going to refer to them as Theaudience. Theaudience.
God, she doesn't strike me as the sort of lady who would be in the fronting a grimy Camden punk indie band.
No, because she's very posh.
She's very posh, very elegant, but that's not to say she can't, get down and dirty with the indie kids.
It's not. Who's to say?
No one's to say.
So, active in the early 90s, Theaudience released one self-titled album, which had a limited edition glittery vinyl version.
Ooh,
how fabulous!
That's pretty great.
And they saw 3 singles enter the UK charts.
That's not bad.
They have some really great song titles. So their highest charting entry was I Know Enough, open brackets, I Don't Get Enough, close brackets.
That's great.
Which got to number 25. They had If You Can't Do It When You're Young, When Can You Do It? Which got to number 48.
That's just very matter of fact. That's not particularly poetic, but
if you can't do it when you're young, when can you do it?
When you're old.
And my favourite name, I Got the Wherewithal, which got to a shocking 170.
I got the wherewithal. It's got some rhythm to it. I'm sure in the song it could be quite good. I got the wherewithal. I got the wherewithal.
That's more upbeat than they actually are.
Oh, really?
I've had a bit of a listen.
See, I'm
That's
thinking of Bex's disco days.
Theaudience were founded by guitarist Billy Reeves, formerly of the indie group Congregation.
Wow, I love these indie band names from
Great.
like the early noughties.
Oh yeah, we've got some more good ones coming up. And included members Patch Hannon, Nigel Butler, Dean Mollett, and Kevin Smith. I just wanted to give a shout out to the rest of them.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, they're not just.
Got to be inclusive.
Yeah, in the shadows.
So in 1998, the group won the Schweppes Eurobash, otherwise known as the Alternative Eurovision Song Contest.
What is this? What? When? Okay, all right. Okay, so I can see the hook for you now.
Right, okay. You see
this is the hook.
There's a link. This is a hook. So their song, named A Pessimist Is Never Disappointed.
I need to take a leaf out of their songbook and start naming some songs like this.
Good.
Yeah.
So that song beat competition from bands including Austria's Sofa Surfers, Norway's Libido,
Wow,
Belgium's Evil Superstars, and Iceland's band Pelvis.
I love Pelvis.
Great names. Libido and Pelvis. You can't get them too near together, can you?
No.
Norway and Iceland.
Keep them one end of the green room and the other.
So this, as mentioned, this happened in 1998.
Yeah.
You can actually tell very clearly this has happened pre-millennium, as the article about it includes the sentence: "The winner was selected with the help of internet users who were able to vote for their favourite band on the Eurobash website."
Hello, I'm an internet user and I voted.
Wasn't it cute before everyone had Wi-Fi?
Yeah. I'm an internet user, officially.
So that's basically all the information I have on the Eurobash.
Wait, was it one? It was a single event, or was it? Do we know if there was more than one? Or
I think there was just the one thing. I think so. A lot of this is just thinking now.
Yes.
So basically, there's 3 enemy articles, all written in the late 90s, which are very short, which all feed through to the official Eurobash website, which is no longer functioning, which I have also put into one of those websites that it can take you back in time and find the pages. No.
Doesn't. So it never works.
It was not there for long enough, clearly, to be found.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it was done as a enemy sort of late 90s.
Right, it was a bit of a stunt.
Scene, FU to Eurovision. We're going to do the Alternative Eurovision where we get bands from all over the world to play live show at the Shepherd's Bush Empire.
Yeah.
And this is real music. This is what... I think it was meant to be like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know because there is no information about the contest anywhere, and it's impossible. And I did email Enemy, and no one got back to me about it in time. So
I don't know if anyone who was there then would still be working there now, would they? They've had quite a lot of turnover over the years.
But if anyone has any information about the official Eurobash Schweppes Eurobash competition, I'd love to know more. We'd love to know more. We'd love to see some footage. I'd love to see some photos. There's absolutely nothing online.
They could, technically, I guess you could say
there's not even a Wikipedia page.
Oh my God. Well, so this podcast is the most documentation of this mysterious event that there ever was.
Basically, yeah.
Do you
pretty
think?
much. So, but I mean, if that was it, obviously this would be the world's shortest podcast.
Okay, because I was just about to start padding then. I was just going to start asking questions.
Oh, no, it's all right. I've done my own padding.
Okay, good. That's good.
I've prepped some padding.
I mean, I will say, though, that this event can say that they launched the career of Sophie Ellis-Bextor.
They could indeed.
Could. I mean, if the event was still a thing, which is...
I'd say Gorilla?
Who?
Spiller, who she did that Groove Jet song with.
Yeah, but I mean, Spiller might not have heard of her if it wasn't for the Schweppes Euro
Maybe not.
thingy fest.
So, because there's basically no information about the contest
Yeah, sure.
or anything else related to it, I'm instead going to give you an extract from a 1998 NME review of a Theaudience gig.
Love it.
And if this doesn't make you want to punch a music journalist directly in the face, I will eat my hat. This is
a late 90s music journalist, which was probably the most obnoxious music journalist you can get.
I couldn't work out whether to read it in like a cut glass English accent, which it most likely was written by someone.
Plums in the mouth kind of vibe.
Or Northern, because I like saying Theaudience.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for Northern.
Okay, but we'll just know that it's probably a upper middle class knob.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is an extract from the only article I could find reviewing their band. Okay. Just getting in character.
Yeah, of course.
Confidence might be a trick, but when Theaudience use it to steal the hearts of innocent spectators, it becomes more than cheap illusion. Band after band might proclaim they're like the future of rock and roll, man, but no amount of blustery braggadocio can match the moment Sophie Ellis-Bextor appears on stage and sings, "I never thought I'd ever punch you out," with all the starry nonchalance of someone flicking ash from a cigarette. Some things don't need articulating, especially when your singer looks like she was found in a rush basket next to the handprints on Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh my God. They could just write anything in those days, couldn't they?
It gets better.
Oh my God, okay.
Sure, there's songwriter and guitarist Billy Reeves yelling 1, 2, 3, 4 with the deranged enthusiasm of Joey Ramone on a trip to the zoo. But Theaudience know the value of understatement. There's a tangible desire here to be Edith Piaf, Debbie Harry, Susie Sue, Marianne Faithfull. And that, ho-ho, is just the boys.
Oh,
it makes me want to throw up my mouth.
Great. So smart.
So smart, isn't it?
So intelligent. Wow.
And although this might correctly be termed post-Britpop, it hits none of the flag deck dead ends that implies. From the measured, opulent ennui of "if you can't do it when you're young," to the summary picnic hamper jaunt of "a pessimist is never disappointed." I've listened to that song. Summary picnic hamper jaunt is not correct. There's an intelligence, wit and scope that stretches way beyond Magpie Retro. If this audience doesn't quite empathise, never mind. In the rarefied surroundings that they undoubtedly deserve, this could soar. I've Got the Wherewithal shows the beautiful monsters Billy could create, the bat-black orchestral dramas that flirt with Phantom of the Opera, and a wave of feather boa at Marlene Dietrich. What? Sophie's voice rising from the guitars like a plume of menthol smoke.
Oh. Is that the end? Is that the end?
No.
Oh
Last
my
little
God.
bit.
Oh.
It might take some time for Theaudience to blossom from gawky ingenue to seamless sophisticate, but it's already a struggle not to fall in love. The sensible side of your brain is weighing up the options, testing the water, pondering their future. The other half is sending flurries of bouquets backstage and grinning like a fool. Thank you, the audience. You've been lovely.
What?
That's how the article actually ended.
You've been lovely. Because he's playing on like, thank you, audience. You've been great. Like, but no one says thank you, the audience. You've been lovely.
It's a painful read. I'm not going to read out who the journalist was. She still writes for The Guardian.
I was just going to say, can you tell me who wrote that? Because I bet they're senior editor.
Yeah, she's still a well-known
newspaper.
Journalist. Yeah.
Oh, come on. Dear, oh dear.
At least that was a long time ago. She can at least claim it.
Yeah, maybe she's got better. People wonder why the NME magazine went out of print.
That's why. So in 1998, Theaudience's founder, songwriter and co-producer Billy Reeves left the band.
Oh no.
Yeah, sad times.
It's so much potential.
So much potential.
Edith Piaf and Debbie Harry.
And that's just the boys.
And that's just the boys.
After performing without Billy for a series of live shows following a
It's not gonna work.
disastrous Glastonbury 98 performance.
Oh,
I couldn't find out why it was disastrous.
No.
There's literally no information on anywhere
No.
about any of this stuff.
No.
Sophie Ellis-Bextor said that Billy was having a well-earned break. However, speaking after the Radio 1 Roadshow that year, Billy said, "Relationships between myself, the management and the band have soured. I've got other fish to fry."
He is very poetic, you can tell.
Very poetic. And he did a wonderful departure announcement because he
Go on.
did subsequently leave the band. And when he spoke to NME, he was quoted as saying, "It's with pleasure I can now officially announce my departure from indie pop group Theaudience due to extreme frustration."
Wow, he is burning those bridges on the way out.
Really doesn't give a fuck.
What was he
Absolutely
frustrated
doesn't give a
about? Did he not say?
fuck. Doesn't say. He said
Wow.
there was another bit that was something to do with I don't know. Oh, he wasn't in control of things. I think.
Bit of a control
And
freak.
again, this is all about thinking because we have no actual facts. Is that maybe Sophie was becoming more famous than him,
And he
and they
didn't
started
like it.
making the band about her.
Yeah, and he couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle
Yeah.
not being in the spotlight
Couldn't handle it.
because he's that frustrated artist, isn't he? Oh, I'm so
Patriarchy, mate.
frustrated. Oh, a woman. More recognition
However-
than me. Okay, go on.
However, Billy had already launched another band, Star Children 2021, which doesn't seem like such a futuristic name right now, does it?
No, it's our children 2 years from now.
Couple
Yeah.
of years away, mate.
Children. You got to think about that. You got to think about longevity with your bad names.
Star Children 2021, that's just Gen Z, isn't it?
That is, yeah.
But exciting, he was also writing songs for the debut album for none other
No.
than...
No, wait, let me guess.
Oh my God, if you can guess it, we're psychic.
No, I don't think so. I'm only saying because this person has come up on the podcast before.
Who?
David Snedden?
No, but actually now you mention it, this person has also come up in the podcast before.
Who? On
The one and
podcast.
only Martine McCutcheon.
Oh, wow. When was her debut album? That must have been
Late 90s.
Late 90s, right, late 90s. So was that one of his bigger fish to fry, do you think?
Yeah.
Martine McCutcheon.
Martine McCutcheon was a bigger fish to fry back then.
I mean, she had some good songs. One good
This is
song.
my moment.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Lovely.
maybe-
I didn't bother to Google to see if he wrote that one actually.
He probably didn't.
Probably didn't. Probably did some duff ones. After Billy left the band, the remaining band members wrote and demoed material for a second album, but it was rejected by Mercury Records,
Oh,
who then dropped the band, who then split up in 1999.
tragic.
Indeed. However, a year later, Ellis-Bextor's solo career smashed into the charts when her collaboration with Spiller on Groovejet, If This Ain't Love, beat Victoria Beckham and Dane Bowers' iconic Out of Your Mind to the UK #1 spot.
You're out of your mind.
Out of your mind.
Wow. I mean, man, we keep saying like the early noughties having a race to #1 between Dane Bowers, Victoria Beckham, and Sophie Ellis-Bextor. That is peak pop right there.
You know, I remember at the time, that battle going on
Yeah.
and being genuinely livid that Out of Your Mind had only made it to #2.
Outraged. This is an outrage.
Outraged.
Who can I
livid.
send a letter to?
I thought they cheated. I
No.
thought they'd been cheated.
You were like, this is one of the moments in pop
This
history
is
that
one
will
of
go
the
down for
seminal
all
songs.
time.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix, John Lennon getting
Yeah.
shot, and Victoria Beckham not getting to #1
Yeah.
in the charts.
Massive.
That's-
It still affects me. I mean, now as an adult, obviously I love Groovejet, If This Ain't Love.
Yeah, it's a
And
great song.
It was the better song.
Really,
But
yeah.
for a good portion of my life, I really felt for Victoria and Dane.
Well, Victoria's doing all right. I don't know about Dane now. What's he up
He'll
to?
be all right.
He's all right.
He's all right.
Sure.
In fact, another Eurovision link.
What's Dane Bowers? Well, Blue.
What band was he in, mate?
Blue.
Yeah, and what did Blue do? Eurovision. So, this is...
You got 3 quite small threads, but they are threads nonetheless, to Eurovision. That's fine. I think technically that makes it an episode. So
that is an official episode. Done. Smashed it.
I like it. I like it a lot. It's good. Thank you, Isobel. I really enjoyed that story, and it means that we can tweet out the picture of you and Sophie Ellis-Bextor when we release this episode.
Yes, we can. And I've also found some music videos for Theaudience. So I'll tweet them out as well if I remember to tweet.
Let's hope we do.
Let's hope we do. Because we do need to market this. Otherwise, we're just
like
shouting into the air.
The ESC Insights thing just fell onto our lap. That's the only marking we do now, is just when things fall onto our lap. We're like, yeah, all right, we'll do that.
Oh, I might be able to go on a radio show.
Oh, really? All right. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, is this going to be like Theaudience all over again? You're going to start getting the spotlight and I'm going to be grumpy about it. No.
And you're going to leave to write Marty McCutcheon's second album.
First podcast series. My moment. Yes, it's called This Is My Moment, and she interviews people about their favourite moment.
And I'll compete against Dane Bowers for the #1 spot. It's going to be amazing.
Oh,
and I'll win.
Wait.
If I'm Ellis-Bextor, it means I'm going to beat Dane.
Oh, shit. Well, I don't know what it means I'll do. I'll be frustrated for a while. Oh, well. All right. Well, speaking of not that great songs, every week I try and write and record a song that will win Eurovision. And this week I did try my best. Last season we got quite technical with it, didn't we? We were using Pop Bitch's algorithms and whatnot to really nail down what a Eurovision winning song is. And we got somewhere. We did some interesting experimenting. But you know what? You know where the real creativity comes from? My head. So this season, we are going back to the good old days of just me sitting down, thinking of some lyrics, making some music, and seeing what comes out. And what that means is we get some terrible songs, but we also get some bangers. And it's up to you to decide this week which one it is. But I will say it's been a very busy week. So this week, I was a little bit grasping at straws. This is what I said earlier, when you just got to blow the dust off a little bit. And so I was desperately looking for something to do. And then in my house, Isobel, as you know, I have a robot that does my lights and that. Alexa. I've got one of those. I shouldn't say her name because it sets things off. So I decided to write a song about someone falling in love with a robot. This song is called Binary Love.
Is it semi-autobiographical?
No, I ain't falling in love with no robot. This song is called Binary Love. Shall we listen to it?
Okay.
I've been talking to robots, baby, and now they only answer to me. All this talking has got me crazy, trapped inside a silicon dream. Because I feel wired up, so computer, let's play a game. If robots feel love, I'll be loving you all the same. When I'm on, we'll overheat. You made it wise and me from meat. Just turn me on and feel my activation. Well, love, I do confess. Loving isn't only for the flesh to flesh. I want you. I need you. Alexa, when I first met you, I asked if you were mine and you just said you betcha. And Siri, when you get near me, I feel vibrations and I know you hear me. All these voices are talking straight to you. Your binaries and ones and O's, but we should come into.
I will just say, so I wrote this very late. Well, I didn't write this very late last night. I recorded the lyrics very late last night. And those last lines, I don't even remember doing. I think I like fell asleep and did them as I was falling asleep. So it's something. Isabel, what do you think of Binary Love?
I think for a first one back after quite a while, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
I know, it's all right.
I liked the bit. I liked the bit that's the Alexa, you betcha, Siri, come near me. I liked that bit. I thought that was clever.
Yeah.
I think, and actually the melody at that time as well. I think if it sounded more like that chunk,
yeah,
it would have been all better.
yeah.
But I don't think he did that bad.
Okay.
I had a good chuckle to it.
Oh, well, there we go. At least that's something. That's good. I was feeling a little bit embarrassed by it, but I shouldn't.
Oh no, don't! I'm so happy to have your songs back in my life.
No, I'm gonna really put some effort in now. I wanna. Now I'm back in the flow. I'm really gonna try and get some, some Mano Mans and some RSVPs back on the go.
Oh, I need to listen to RSVP again.
Oh yeah, it's been a while.
it has been a while since I've listened to that. So it makes me smile every time.
So let's give it a score as well, and then we can then you can go to bed, I suppose.
I would give it. It's a good try for your first time back after a while, but I know how bloody talented you are, Roland.
Thanks, mate.
And I know you can do better.
Thanks.
So I'm gonna give it Cease.
Wow, I'm very pleased with that. So it's got potential, but we're going to move on and try something else next time, and we'll see how well that does.
Amazing! We're back. And next episode, we're going to be recording live, face to face.
We are. We still got to figure out what time, when we'll do it. But even if
I'll
it's
just rock up whenever.
Yeah, even if it's in the club that night, we'll bring our equipment and we'll do it there. Doesn't matter.
I thought we were going to do it over bubble breakfast.
We will. We'll do it there. We'll do it then.
Oh, okay.
Definitely.
If you want to get in touch with us like the wonderful Kevin did, you can email us at europhoriapodcast@gmail.com
or you can tweet us at EuphoriaCast. Do it.
Whoa!
Do it.
Do either of those ones.
Yeah.
We're terrible at checking and responding to Twitter though.
Yeah.
So you can also just tweet us at Isobel Shulman or at Roland Bodnam.
Yes, do that too. We love it.
And listen to ESC Insights podcast and let us know how wonderful we sound on it.
Yeah, we did it. It was quite. We were quite serious on it, weren't we? We took a serious slant.
Very serious.
Yeah, it's nice.
And thank you very much to ESC Insight as well. Thank you to Ewan for emailing us and letting us go on it. Very exciting. And you're more than welcome to come on ours as well. We just always thought you wouldn't want to because ours is stupid.
It's called fun and entertaining.
Or basically we're idiots.
Yeah, sometimes.
But if you do want to come on, absolutely, you're more than welcome. Give us a bit of clout.
Do it.
Yeah, great. Okay, the cat's still asleep.
Oh,
I'm going to go to sleep.
It's time for you to...
It's lasted the whole episode.
That's
Wake
good.
up, fatty.
No.
Okay, brilliant. I'll speak to you all soon.
See you next time. Bye.